My brothers and sisters in Christ, today much of the secular world observes Valentine's Day. Certainly Hallmark and the jewelry industry and all those associated with romance celebrate Valentine's Day, which itself is based on the ancient saint, Saint Valentine, who perhaps not quite the romantic figure everyone paints it out to be, was actually martyred in very gruesome fashion. But today on the church calendar, we actually also celebrate the memorial of Saints Cyril and Methodius, saints that you often don't hear brought up by people as their favorite saints, and yet very important, particularly to the people they served. In the 9th century, Saints Cyril and Methodius were sent by the Eastern Emperor from Byzantium, Constantinople, to help spread the gospel to the Slavic peoples. They were sent to an area in the middle of what's the present-day Czech Republic. But there was one issue. It wasn't that they were the first bringers of the gospel to that area. But the issue was that there was no written language for these people. They had only oral tradition. And so St. Cyril had the task of inventing their first alphabet. He invented their language system of writing so that the scriptures and gospel could be translated into their language for the very first time. This language which he came up with was the foundation for what soon after would become the Cyrillic language that still is used to this present day. So St. Cyril helps transcribe the scriptures and other things of the church, the faith, into this new language to help with the Slavic peoples. As I shared, it wasn't the first time they were hearing the gospel, but the gifts put at the disposal of this helped spread the gospel in a whole new way. And so even after St. Cyril died, St. Methodius continued much of his work. They were brothers. And all of this together, aside from just a neat historical origin story, reminds us in the present age we live in with the new evangelization of the need to share the gospel in the language of the people. Much is said about the reforms at Vatican II, the use of vernacular in the liturgy, but I'm talking about something way beyond this. I'm talking about speaking the gospel in the language of the people. We see this in the Gospels themselves. Jesus constantly in his use of parables, he spoke the language of the people he was addressing. He spoke in ways that they could grasp and understand. We in the present day must do the same. Not just in the use of language literally, which can be a challenge here in a place such as Houston, an archdiocese in which we celebrate Mass in 16 different languages every Sunday throughout this local church. Yes, languages and the barriers between languages are challenging, but also in the language of culture, the language of understanding of a people. We have to find new ways to communicate the beauty of the gospel and ways that unchurched people or people who have once been taught but have lost their zeal, or it's been pushed out of sight, out of mind, we must come up with a way to communicate the joy of the gospel to all those, because God's salvation, the good news, is for all. And so on this day, may we invoke the prayers of St. Cyril and Methodius that we may speak the joy of the gospel to all places, all times, all cultures, all languages, and most of all, tying back to this day of St. Valentine's Day, may we speak the language of love that transcends written or oral tongue, the very language of God that has been passed on to us. May we learn to better speak that language of love to one another, that all may be drawn into the family of God. May God bless you all.